Good afternoon, everybody. And today we're going to be talking about car dealerships, the good and the bad. Tying into this, we're going to kind of talk about how car dealerships tend to trump prices on us as consumers and how they tend to get away with some of the things that they really shouldn't be allowed to get away with. Going through the last couple of weeks, I've kind of been doing research and kind of been and kind of just been doing just a whole lot of research into this particular topic of discussion, and I found that a lot of people have wrote and left reviews on this particular topic. This is an issue that has been occurring for many years now and may not ever get better. It's something that will continue to occur unless we as consumers, play our part. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and go to our first slide. Slide one, why do dealerships trump prices? Most importantly, they want to make the most profit. In any business, whether it's a nonprofit business or whether it's a for-profit business, they want to make the most profit that they possibly can. Any salesman can read somebody the minute they walk in the door, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to try to get you to pay for more than what you're wanting to pay for. They're trying to try to get you to buy the better trim level or buy an extra, pay for, let's say, an extra $2,000 on a leather interior, or an extra $700 for different types of spokes on your wheel. See, not spokes, type of locks on your wheels, or they want to charge you an extra $500 for red brake calipers. But those are just some examples of ways that they try to throw things at you to try to get the most and make the most profit and get the most money out of you. They tend to take advantage of first-time buyers. Why? Because most first-time buyers have no clue about the buying process. Most dealerships and most salespeople can spot a first-time buyer the minute that they walk in the door. I got a buddy of mine who's a salesman, not at a big dealership, at kind of a mom and pop, and he tells me all the time. He said he can tell when somebody walks in the door if they've bought a couple of vehicles in their lifetime, or if it's their first time here, based on how they look when they walk into the dealership, how the questions that they ask, how they carry themselves, and just overall how they act. So basically, you need, and that goes on to my third bullet point. Make sure you're doing your research before you go into these places. If you're not planning on buying when you get there, if you haven't done your research, don't even bother showing up. They throw in hidden fees and hidden charges. They all dealerships like to throw in little hidden taxes and little hidden fees because they think we as consumers don't read what we're signing and don't pay attention to those things. Those are things that you have to pay attention to, and those are things that you should pay attention to if you don't want to get taken advantage of. Why dealerships trump prices continued? They may advertise one price, but then they show another. It happens all the time. You'll see an advertisement for a car. It might be $40,000 on the website. You get there, the actual MSRP is $45,000, and there's no room for budging. Why? Because it's not necessarily false advertising. It was their way of getting you in the door. Because as soon as you saw it, you're like, oh, that's a great deal. I got to jump on that. And then it's not what you may think. But then they're going to use their tactics to get you not to leave and somehow convince you to end up paying $45,000 to $46,000 for that particular vehicle. They may use bait and switch techniques. For example, one salesman may come and talk to you, and then another salesman may come and talk to you. With that, the salesman may talk to you at the same time. The finance manager may come talk to you. The head sales manager may come talk to you. You could speak to 3 or 4 people within 30 minutes of being in the building. This is their way of trying to overwhelm you and trying to get you to buy the vehicle. Ways to avoid. Watch the salesman's movement. Watch how the salesperson talks. Watch what the words that he uses. Watch what they say. Watch their ads onto my third bullet point. Watch their mannerisms. Watch how they carry themselves. Watch how they walk when you say no to certain things. Pay attention to how they react when you say no to a price or to a certain monthly payment. Pay attention. Also, last but not least, don't be afraid to leave. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to call you back the very next day or a couple of days later because the car still hasn't sold and they want to make the sale because they want to meet their monthly quota or they want to make their commission. Uh, that being said, salespeople and dealerships as a whole, they do everything that they can to try to get the most. There are some dealerships who are more willing to work with you than others, and there are some that want to try to get the most out of you that they absolutely possibly can. It's not necessarily the wrong thing to do per se, but there's ways to go about it that are going to make me want to buy this car or want to, continue to give you my business. When you go to a car dealership, you're building a relationship with that salesperson. You're building a relationship with the finance manager. You may build a relationship with the guy who's the head of sales. You may build a relationship with the receptionist. You're building relationships because you may want to come back and buy that car. You may want to bring your significant other there to purchase a car from them. You may, at some point, if you have children, when they get of age to drive, you may want to take them and go buy cars from them. You may refer friends and family to buy cars from them. It's all about building a relationship and having a good rapport. If you have a bad experience at a dealership or have a bad experience with a certain person, you're not going to recommend to your friends and your family, the people you care about the most, hey, don't go to that place because they acted this way, they said this, they said this, they said that. You're not going to send people to them. That being said, I hope you all enjoyed this presentation. I hope I didn't kind of ramble on or kind of stutter too much for you all, but this is just highlighting a point that needs to be brought across people's attention. And hope y'all have a wonderful day.